right, everyone. Welcome back to The Grasshopper Lies Heavy, our campaign, long-running campaign, I might add, based on the novel The Man in the High Castle, the recently ended Amazon series and the novel by Philip K. Dick. This is the second chapter in Book 2. If you like what you hear here tonight, go back and catch up on Book 1. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And also, a word to the wise before going forward, this game does sometimes touch on disturbing but yet dramatic subject matters. It does take place in an alternate universe where the Nazi Reich won World War II, and the great United States of America is divvied up between the Nazis and Imperial Japan. But rest assured, we are role-playing on the good side of things. Although Henry Winters might get carried away from time to time. Killing spree. But anyhow, we're going to join our role players where they were in the mountains in a little bit. But first, I'm going to take you back to Poland many, many years ago, where Richter von Steumann finds himself in a farmhouse, and they are having breakfast in a kitchen that they have taken over during the Nazi occupation of Poland. And here we go. You should all be able to see that, correct?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right. So it's morning. And like I said before, this is many, many years ago in Poland when Richter von Steuben was but a young lad. He's with the rest of his company, Joachim, Wilhelm, Fritz, and Klaus. Klaus has just returned from the kitchen and sits down at the table with a cast iron skillet. On that cast iron skillet is bacon, some sausages. Across the table from Richter are some eggs. The smell of fresh bread fills this kitchen, as well as the smell of seasoned breakfast meats. It's a very warm and cozy environment, and you almost feel at home if not for the terrors taking place outside. You try to enjoy some small bit of normalcy and try to drown out the terrors of the previous days with orange juice and homemade bread. Richter, I'll let you kind of set the scene other than that, and this is your story, so take it away.
So Richter sits at the table and looks at his rank, Oberfeldwebel, leader of the squad. Looks at the breakfast. It looks appetizing, but his stomach turns up at it because he knows what's been happening here since they've arrived. He also knows the position that he and his men might be put in, and the decision that they've made. They are no longer going to participate in these atrocities that are happening, these troubles that they are inflicting upon the Polish. And looks out on the others. My comrade, I must say that despite the look of this rather appetizing breakfast, I find myself without appetite.
Across the table from Richter, Wilhelm takes a bite of eggs, and his gaze is downcast. He looks at the plate. Victor, do not speak to such things. We keep our head down. We do our jobs. We go home. You'll have pretty girl back home, no?
Yeah, For how much longer, I wonder. She's from Spain. Might be considered an undesirable.
She's far from undesirable from what I remember, Richter. And Joachim is sitting on his right, and Wilhelm gives him a gentle ribbing. Yeah. Don't worry, Richter. We will be fine. We will go home. Poland is taken. We go home.
It's not that simple. It's orders. It's barbarism. It's not German. It's not the way of the fatherland, not the one I remember.
No. There is much that must be done in war, Richter. Klaus says. He takes a gulp of orange juice. You can tell from the tenseness in his voice and the harshness as Adam's apple moves up and down his throat that though he just swallowed a drink, he's just cotton-mouthed and thinking about the day to come. Must be done in war. Like I said, if we follow orders, if we do not, we will be shot. And then will we be then? No. What we say, we take out these men to the fields. And then what must be done will be done. And we will go home and not forget about it.
I don't agree. We should take this to someone higher. This can't be the will of the Reich. All this does is make us look bad. This was a defensive war. That is what we were told, remember?
Fritz nods. He kind of listens to you continue.
When we were given the marching orders, we were told Poland would come across the border. They had men prepared. They were going to invade the fatherland. We had to strike. We had to be quick. And we were. The Blitzkrieg was a success. Brilliant strategy. Look around you. The people that we take out in these fields, they aren't soldiers. They're not insurgents. They're not warriors. They're people. We're eating kitchen food from a family that was killed in its entirety. 12 children and a mother. The father we killed during the fighting. That's fair enough. But all of them? Either killed or sent to a camp? Is that war, Fritz? Is that war, Klaus? That is savagery. Such savagery not since the Roman times.
Fritz kind of pushes away his plate, and there's a gentle clank as he sets his fork on the plate. I suddenly lost my appetite.
Richter does a quick count and... Where's Hugo? He was sent to grab a supply rations, yeah?
Not before he went next door. Supposedly they have fresh milk there. Kind of Wilhelm pushes his sausages away from his plate. No doubt that is stolen as well. I hear you, Richter. If we go home, I do not think I can live with myself. I will not be able to sleep, will not be able to eat, will not be able to fuck my own lady. No. Let's do something. Make something of ourselves.
We bring it to a higher command. We tell them what is going on here. This can't be something that is okay. This can't be the way we were supposed to conduct this offensive. It can't be.
The rest of them kind of push their plates away, feeling their stomachs sink through the floor. They feel like their legs are made of lead, for they know what they should do, but do they have the strength and the will to do it?
Richter will stand. Männer, as Oberfeldwebel, I will not ask this of you. I will not order it of you either. But if you would stand with me against this injustice, so let us march together. Let us stand arm in arm. We will not carry out this butchery. We will show the rest of the Kameraden a proper German way to conduct war.
Klaus nods, and they stand. Each of them gives a somber nod to their leader. And when you hear a "Hi! Joachim! Wilhelm! Richter, you bugger! Open up the door, my hands are full!" And you hear Hugo's voice.
There's Hugo, timely as ever. Fritz grabs the door. We will talk with him when he comes inside.
Fritz goes and opens the door and sees Hugo there with two, like those old milk cartons, milk jugs of milk. Like there's 2 racks of them, and he has one in each hand. And he goes, "Looks like I missed the beginning of breakfast. Is there any left for me?" And he kind of looks around at the breakfast table and sees that all the food has been pushed away from the soldiers. "I don't know that Klaus's cooking has never been great, but Christ! Eat your food, man. We have a long day ahead of us."
Fritz is the door. Hugo, come in, please. Have some of the food.
And as Hugo moves away from the door, the morning sunshine is streaming in, and behind him you see a tall, looming silhouette of a SS cap, a hat, and that long shadow kind of filters into the kitchen. And behind the Colonel Keller, you know this gentleman as, you see ranks upon ranks of Einsatzgruppen with their rifles at the ready. "The jig is up, Richter. Hugo here tells me you've been questioning orders recently. You know that the Reich can't do with dissenters. From the leadership down to the common soldier." Kind of looks at the others. "Back away from the breakfast table, Richter. Herr Fritz, Klaus, Wilhelm, Joachim. I'm taking you under arrest and into the custody of the Einsatzgruppen." And he has his Luger pointed at him, but like behind him there's like line upon line of riflemen. Hugo just says, "I'm so sorry, Richter." And he kind of gives the Roman salute. "Heil Hitler!" And you hear the soldiers behind the colonel, "Heil Hitler!"
Richter steps away from the table and... This is madness. Why, Hugo?
"Just following orders, Victor." And after he says that, the scene fades to black. All right, you guys all should have vision.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we jump back to present day. I believe it was 1963. Just moments ago, there was a high-speed car chase through these zigzagging backcountry roads in the mountains. It ended with a shootout at high speed and the Liebensborn vehicle catching flames and exploding, but not before Richter von Steuben, Ruth, and Henry Winters could pull their quarry safely away from the car. As we find them, Caroline Abdenson and her husband Hawthorne are recovering on the side of the road. They are cut and scraped and bruised, but otherwise not horribly injured. And I'll let you take it from there.
Ruth kneels down beside Carolyn and Hawthorne. She dusts them off. Any of the grass or anything that was dragged on the back of their suits, Carolyn's dress. She looks between the two of them. Are you alright?
I think I'm fine. Nothing broken, at least I don't think. He coughs. Looks over to his wife. You okay, sweetie? She just nods sweetly in the moonlight. There's a flickering firelight kind of crossing the road, highlighting her silver hair.
Good. I'm glad you're both okay. I'm just glad you were in time to help both of you. I'm sorry I let that man in. I didn't know.
Hawthorne looks at Ruth. Well, we know now, Ruth. We know now that we're not alone. And it was a pipe dream to think we could hide in these mountains month after month, year after year, not be bothered. Question is, where do we go now?
She pauses, looks back to Henry with concern on her face, seeing these cut, shot at, scraped.
Henry puts off a confident smile. Oh, I think the only place we can go. Smiths. If they know of us, they know of him.
Right. I told Francis to go there. I just hope they made it.
I'm sure she did. Kind of rub his shoulder a little bit. Is everybody else okay?
Yeah. I'll be alright.
Good. He'll look over to Richter. Richter, you alright?
Yeah, Henry, good.
Good. I managed to back the truck up before it blew. Windshield shot to hell.
Well, let's just clean out the inside at least, so it's more comfortable to sit. But we should head back. I just hope they're okay.
I know they are. They gotta be okay.
Right. Ruth gets to her feet, dusting off her knees, heading towards the truck, and she takes probably a spare cloth or something, or shirt. She kind of pulls the glass from the inside, pulling it out onto the ground, and just making sure there's no glass on the inside of the truck for anyone to sit on.
Henry, this time, instead of going towards the driver's seat, he's actually gonna go towards the back. Thinking that he needs to kind of give himself a look.
This is a 1963 pickup, so it's not a double cab. And if Richter's going to drive, Caroline and Hawthorne will probably need to squeeze into the seat next to him, leaving Henry and Ruth, I guess, to sprawl out in the back of the truck. Hawthorne's a little slow moving as he helps his wife up, and they groan. And they make some small steps, and they can feel the warmth of the fire as it burns and sends smoke into the sky.
Ruth will hop into the back of the cab. She looks over at Henry, kind of seeing a spare piece of the windshield that's in his arm. She gently removes it and flicks it off into the grass to the side. Alright, like that. You should get moving. That smoke is going to attract people who we don't want to see.
So, all right, if it gets moving, we'll try to turn it over.
As he does so, the car's engine roars to life, and he looks down, like, out the driver's side door window, and he sees the Liebensborn there, kind of laying dead. Their chiseled features in the moonlight. And what are his thoughts as it kind of reminds him of those ranks and ranks of riflemen that took him into custody in Poland many years ago?
And he looks at the Liebensborn with disdain for a little bit, but then remembers where he is and starts up the car.
And there's a scene as they pull off into the night, leaving the fire behind them. Let's see, just to give you an overview of kind of the geography here. Let me try to find which slide had all my stuff on it. Start. Did I show you guys like a slide of like the mountains and stuff last time?
Maybe?
Maybe.
I kind of remember it was like an overview thing with
Yeah,
map.
that's what I thought
Oh yeah,
too.
the map with all the houses and everything
Yeah.
pointed out. Yeah.
So I rolled 20 just moving. So I accidentally archive it. Bear with me.
No problem.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Could have been rolling with submachine gun.
Oops.
Yeah, not gonna spend too much time there. It's a good way to get bushwhacked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kind of bummed I can't find it. Doesn't matter. But the geography is such that the Smiths is the closest house. It'd be just a couple miles, for like 10 miles or so to the west, kind of up the roads again. And I'll let you guys have some role play on the way there. There's likely a scene that needs to happen between Henry and Ruth. And Richter's kind of driving along with Hawthorne and Caroline kind of tucked in with him, and Ruth and Henry kind of are in the back. And Henry, I can let you describe kind of what you look and feel like, and you guys can take it away.
As Henry, as they start driving, Henry kind of, the adrenaline starts dropping. He starts feeling the burns of wounds. And he's kind of feeling himself over, trying to make sure there's nothing too bad going on. It's pretty beat up, but he's been through worse. He's thinking, and he kind of keeps looking over at the side there and trying to be reassuring with a smile and, kind of make it seem it's not as bad as, even though it's not the worst he's been through. Well, I guess there goes the serene life.
And I was just getting used to it at this point. And Ruth takes Henry's hand and intertwines her fingers with his. There's something I wanted to tell you tonight. No, unfortunately, it's kind of got spoiled with everything going on. But I don't know when else would be time to tell you.
Well, I suppose now's as good time as any. Not going anywhere soon or fast.
Well, it'll be the only time. Maybe. I don't know.
There'll be more.
There better be. Ruth fiddles around with Henry's hand, pulling it slightly.
Henry
Say,
would add his other hand and kind of rub. Just trying to be reassuring.
Let's take a deep breath and looks out to the back as they bump along the road, watching the trees recede past them. I've been talking with Francis for a few weeks. There's some things that I've been thinking about, some things that have happened. I mostly thought it was sympathy, pains and such. But it's been going on for a while. And Ruth swallows hard and looks at Henry. I think I'm pregnant, Henry.
You think what?
Yeah. I know this is probably the worst time for it.
Are you sure? Look,
I'm pretty sure. I've been sick the past 2 weeks. You sleep in sometimes, and well, I make sure to clean up after myself, so you don't know.
I should have known. I should have seen it, I think.
There's not much to see right now.
He gives her a smile. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely not a great time, but it's not like we could make and pick it, right?
No. On one hand, I'm happy that it's finally happened. But and she takes a deep breath and looks at Henry very, very hard. I can't have you running into battles like before. I can't have you risking your life. I can't be left alone like this.
No. You're right. You're 100% right. I can't leave you alone. I never could. Definitely not now.
I'm not talking about literally leaving me alone, Henry. I'm talking about running off into battle and without any regard for yourself. I don't want you to die. I don't want this child to have no father.
Henry just kind of stares at her, speechless. Yeah. You're right. It changes everything. Yeah. And he kind of lost for words.
There is something new in our lives, and I'm not sure what we're going to do at this point. It hasn't changed for me. You're my whole world, Henry, and well, you know I'd do anything for you.
Yeah, I do. And I'll do anything for you as well.
Good, then don't be an idiot. And she pushes him on the side of the head.
No, I have to. And he smiles. I have to be a lot more careful.
Yeah, it only just took a baby for you to be careful.
Well, I mean, before there's a lot, and with you and trying to protect you and knowing that there's got to be better. Maybe I don't have to.
And we're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't go back to the house. I don't know where we're going to go from here, but I need to find somewhere safe and soon.
Oh, we'll find it. That's the priority now. He's kind of still a little flabbergasted, but smiling at the same time. Has a little excitement dancing around his eye. And he'll look over the hand and sling it around the shoulder. I gotta look after you more carefully now, too.
I'm not breakable. At least not yet.
I assure you, everything's gonna be fine. And I won't be there to lead any charges in the battles anymore, as long as I can help it.
Ruth smiles and leans her head on Henry's shoulder. Good. I trust you.
I'm glad you do. But again, I'll do everything to protect you.
I know. Just do it with a bit more carefulness this time.
Yeah, no more facing down gunfire, I guess.
Yes, please, no. And no more hospital visits if we can help it.
Yeah, that goes double for you as well.
I'll eventually, maybe.
No, I can't have you being out there and taking shot at and shooting guns at.
I still have to fight, Henry, until you're safe. I can't just sit in the back. I can't just watch.
No, I'm definitely not asking you to do that. This is all our fight. Just gotta tread more carefully.
Yeah. More carefully.
So have you told Francis?
Nein. I wanted you to be the first that I told.
Well, I'm kind of glad that I don't have to be totally off guard. I always have to say this is the perfectly time to mention everything.
I can think of better times, but I guess riding in the back of a truck away from a flaming car is as good as any.
It kind of forces your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. She gives Henry a kiss on the cheek.
And Henry's gonna lean back and. Well, I guess I got many things to think about. We got many things to think about.
Oh, I'd start with names.
Yes. We should make a list. People that are important to both of us, I would think.
Alright. It'll take some thinking. I think Henry Jr. might be a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to name him Henry at all.
No?
No, now that I think about it.
Why not? It's your name. It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name for sure. I guess that's a discussion for another time.
She frowns a bit, looking at Henry. What do you mean, a discussion for another time?
It's a cursed name. Finds nothing but trouble.
And you're right about that.
But we'll have plenty of time. And what if it's a little lady?
Oh. Oh no, that opens a totally new set of doors if it's a woman.
Oh, and why is that?
Just more problems. Men fawning after them and such.
That's true. Definitely have to have eyes in the back of my head for that.
Make sure you have the shotgun.
Yeah. Well, better make sure you have the shotgun, because that may just be up to you.
Why? Because you'd be busy.
Well, let's just say that within the next 40 years, I'll be ever watchful and, well, on edge with anybody that would show any interest to her, or him, or I mean, I guess, I don't know. But let's just say those men that are fawning will learn a lesson or two.
Ruth kind of leans back and chuckles a bit. We'll see when they come.
Yes. It may not look it, but I'm really excited. He
So am I.
smiles.
So am I.
Well, when do you think we should share the news?
Well, I don't think when we get back to the Smiths, considering Alan is dead for the second time. And I think the final time, most likely.
Yeah, I really liked this Alan. He was a good lad.
Yeah. He was the boy that I always thought he'd be.
I'm sorry. Did you lose your friend again?
It still hurts, but I have to stay strong, especially for Francis. She's really the one suffering at this point.
Yeah, it's almost like she couldn't catch a break. But I guess she's officially part of our small family. So I'll do everything to help her out if need be.
Good. Well, take care of her. Make sure she's alright. I wonder how much farther we have to go. She's gonna turn around and look over the cab, see if she can see anything in the front.
And with that, the camera perspective changes, and we move into the cab of the truck. And Ruth, up in the distance, you can see, as you wind up this last mile upwards and upwards into the mountains, you can see the bright and warm glow of a cabin. Richter von Steuben is driving In the front of you, Richter, you can see the headlights of the truck going over the vast whiteness of the snow. Every once in a while, you have to fight a little bit to keep this rickety truck on the road, but Hawthorne is making for good conversation. So he says to Richter, "Yeah, Richter here. Kind of the strong, silent type, huh? I know a lot about Ruth, and Henry has the gift of gab, but it's not often we see a German up here in the neutral zone."
Well, I would say that the rest of the Reich does not agree with me, and I don't agree with it.
House gets closer, and you still have about a mile to go, though. And what was it, Richter? Did you see the films?
Not exactly. It was a first-hand experience.
He has his gaze fixed out in the front of the truck, watching the headlights. It starts to snow and some flurries drift down from the black sky. Yeah. He casts a quick glance to his left, and then Hawthorne looks straight ahead again. When you have, let me know. I'd be more than happy to show them to you.
I must admit a certain level of curiosity, but I'm hesitant to watch anything involving the Reich. You go through 2 wars, you've seen quite a bit of things that you aren't happy to talk about.
Hawthorne says, lowering his voice, "Well, this doesn't seem like the time to press you, Richter, but let me just say I'll be more than happy to fast forward those tapes until the end. If anything will give you resolve to keep fighting, well, I'm going to stop right there. It's something you have to see for yourself."
I will happily watch the tapes, Mr. Abdinson, but you need not worry about my resolve. So many debts that must be paid.
I could tell from the way you were wielding that firearm.
It was something I was better at in my youth, to be fair. When I was a younger, but age has caught up with me.
It's the one foe that no amount of firearms will defeat. Time comes for us all, Richter. Even the great Führer. Nothing lasts forever, Richter. Just keep that in mind. Nothing lasts forever. Then all of a sudden you and you hear you have suddenly run over something like a couple hundred yards shy of the cabin, and the truck comes to a stop. Ruth and Henry are kind of thrown forward into the rear window, and you can hear Caroline and Hawthorne just ah! And then suddenly you hear ringing through the night a rifle shot, and the driver's side glass near you explodes, Richter, and you immediately flash back to another time. You are in a work camp, a Nazi work camp, digging a ditch. You've been working from sunrise, and the sun is about to go down. There are blisters on your hands. Your knees hurt. Your feet are raw. The bottom of your feet don't have skin on them. And the shoes you are wearing are from a dead man. They are 3 sizes too small. And as you work, one of your best friends in the world His brains explode in front of you, and you're covered with the grisly gore of Fritz as one of the SS soldiers looks down upon you with a gleam in his eye, looking like a rabid dog. What? What? You going to cry? He'd be dead in a few days already. Fuck! Fuck, you dogs! And he takes his pistol and aims it at Klaus, and then kind of moves on. Looking down at Fritz, he certainly is emaciated. He's probably handled it the worst of anyone, and he probably would have died in a few days. But Richter, how are you thinking and feeling right now?
He is in shock for a moment and sees the corpse of the man who was just next to him. You fucking butchers! You Schweinehund! And he almost picks up his shovel to try to lash out at the man, but I suppose one of his men stops him.
Yeah, Wilhelm grabs Richter's shoulder. Richter, looking at his right shoulder, it is a hand of a skeleton. His fingernails are gone. You can see every bit of sinew and bone in Wilhelm's hand. He doesn't even have the strength to turn you around, but you hear this pleading voice. Look, Richter. Look. Look. And to his left, Joachim and Klaus are doing the same, and they continue on down the line, stepping over Fritz's body with nary a thought.
And Richter shakes his shoulder. Stay strong. There will come a day. There will come a day.
They continue digging the ditch near nightfall. You can tell from the moon starting to rise in the sky that the whistle is about ready to blow, and the very cruel taskmaster, the unflinching and unyielding camp master, is about ready to blow that horn. When you hear someone from near the fence, "Hey! Victor! Victor!" And you see beyond the fence his face covered in shadow is Hugo. Hugo is not skinny. He seems to go even softer. Except even in the moonlight, you can tell that his eyes are bloodshot and there are dark circles under them from the sleepless nights filled with regret. Victor! Victor! Here! Come! I have bread!
Hugo, you fucking traitor.
And you hear the whistle blow, and you're all kind of able to lay down your pickaxes and you kind of line up next to the fence. And your comrades, Richter, just have downcast eyes. They might not even hear Hugo. But as you walk past, you can see Hugo, and you come within a few feet of him. You even have a moment to tarry and speak with him as the SS officers start to come down the line to take roll call. Here, take this bread. Take it now. Walking doesn't look good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, comrade. What was I to do?
You've done this, Hugo. You fucking coward. Keep your bread.
Hugo's eyes go wide. You can see his knuckles go white on the bread as the crust starts to break and it begins to crumble out of his fingers, falling onto the rocky ground. Like animals, Wilhelm, Joachim, and Klaus just dive for it, getting whatever bread they can and stuffing it into their chapped mouths that are pocked with sores. I have more. I have more. Joachim, Klaus, Wilhelm, come tomorrow. I will give you more. He looks for Richter and says, I will make this right. Believe me. I know that now. There have been horrible things, horrible news coming from the front. They even say the Americans have entered the war. It's not going well, Richter.
Good. I hope they kill you all.
Kill me? Kill us all?
It is no more than we deserve.
You think the Showstopper will release you, let you go free from here? No. That's the first sound of a tank, the first fine of a bomber. They'll execute you all. Trust me, Richter. I will make this right. I will keep you alive until the Americans arrive.
Do what you wish, Hugo. You are beyond my trust.
Hugo backs slowly away from the fence. Now you can see where his hands were clasping the barbed wire. There are almost stigmata, almost Christ-like. He backs away, and suddenly a spotlight falls upon him. Stop! You! There! Stop! Ah! And from behind him, you see Hugo's lungs blown out the front of his chest as he falls forward, first to his knees and then face down. He says, Richter, forgive me. Forgive me. And I'll let you RP it out as we move back to current times.
And Richter would see Hugo dying, and he'd freeze his eyes, looking to the man dying before him, and then track to where the bullet came from. He takes very particular note of the one who shot him, the guard. Remembering his face, remembering the way he walks, remembering how he moves. And he has this awful look in his eyes.
A second shot rings out, whizzing past Richter's head. It bounces off the of the hubcap of the truck near him, and I'll let you guys RP it out as these shots are coming from somewhere you don't know where.
I mean, Richter would grab the evidence. Get down! Get down! God damn it! And he will try to lay low in the cab of the car, trying to get the door open and go for his rifle. It's in the seat next to him.
Yeah, Hawthorne and Caroline duck for cover automatically, and they're silent. They're breathing, so you can't even hear them breathe. They're so terrified. Ruth and Henry.
Henry, after they come to an abrupt stop and hears the first gunshot, would kind of like be alert, like wasn't sure if that's what he actually heard. And upon the second one, he immediately will pull Ruth down and cover her. You okay?
Yeah, he's my back against the back of the cab. I'm fine. We need to get down somewhere. We're sitting ducks here.
Yeah, we're all sitting ducks. And then he's gonna shift a little bit, and he's gonna actually yell, Smith, this is Henry, if that's you!
At first, you hear only silence, and then you hear a voice coming from inside the house, and you even see the silhouette of a figure posted up near one of the windows. No! It's not me! Sniper!
Henry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
He's kind of slink back low.
It goes right over your head, Henry.
He's got a beat on us. We got to stay behind this, stay in this bed, stay low.
Is it just coming from the side of the truck?
I have no idea. I didn't see. And he immediately, Richter, you seeing anything?
I'm trying to find him. I'm gonna look around and try to see if I can pick out anything that gives me an idea where he might be shooting from.
When you leaned like down to pick up your rifle, you did see like near the wheel what you ran over looked to be a body of one of those Liebensborns. But that body had like a hunting rifle, like more of a long rifle with it. The body was totally crushed, but in the dark you can see just dark blood pooled underneath it. And anybody that wants, I'd say Richter and Henry, if you want to give me either a, why don't you give me a perception check, average difficulty with a setback.
Oh man, Henry's gonna think the bullets are coming from the house.
Average difficulty with a setback, yep. And I'm going to take this time to set the pool of... set the players have 3 points. I have none. Alright. Richter has 2 threat.
Is that going to be in strain?
You can take it in strain. Just take it now. It's fine. Let's do that. I was going to keep it in my pocket, but that sounds like a fine plan to me. And why don't you take a strain as well, Henry, as you peek your head out.
Will do. Let's see how. Edit it.
Henry, as you kind of look over the top of the truck, another shot rings out. This one goes low, and you see the powder of the snow just burst. But you can see a muzzle flash up in the line of the trees here. You have some position of where that shot's coming from.
All right, yeah. Henry's just gonna go ahead and yell out. He's in the tree line over there in the mountain.
I will find him, and Richter will try to use the door as cover, but he'll start to scan and try to find the sniper.
Hang on, I'll give you another help. And Henry's gonna grab his hat and then kind of raise his hat up a little bit and kind of move it back and forth.
Deception. That's pretty cool. So just give me an easy deception check.
Gotcha. I have a 0, so
You should have some greens, right? Let's see.
yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it. I got an advantage.
That's an advantage. So I'm going to give Richter a free boost on his next check as he kind of tries to exit the car. Or what are you trying to do here, Richter?
Exit to the car, brace the rifle I have in the window, and shoot him if I can find him.
All right, give me as you exit the car. Give me another perception check, the same. But you're going to have a boost.
Average? Okay.
Yep.
And 1 setback die?
Yes, sir. There you go. Yep. You can see him now. And he's still pretty far from you. You're still out in the open. What are you doing?
I would like to use the advantage that I got to notice a single important detail. Ideally, a place where I can run and get cover from him to shoot back at him.
Absolutely. There's a fence up here, and there's a wood pile, and that would get you to medium range.
Yeah, so Richter's seeing that is going to try to keep low and go for the wood pile. Stay in the car.
Okay. Can you give me either a average stealth or athletics check with a boost?
Definitely going to be stealth.
It's alright. If he starts firing at him, I'm gonna hop out and try to flank him.
Interesting.
No success.
That's a wash. That's a fail. As he runs across the snow, from behind him, Henry, you see another muzzle flash as there's another sniper on the top of Smith's roofs that shoots down at Richter as he sprints across the snow. All right, here we go. It's going to be a hard check. No boost, one setback since Richter is sprinting. You guys want to downgrade me or anything?
Yeah.
Whoa,
I'd use a
show.
point.
All right, spend the story point. Here we go.
A hard test.
1, 2, 3,
Oh, no.
4.
A hard test.
Wow.
That's 12.
Hard.
Oh
I'm down.
no. Oh no.
What's your soak?
It's still gonna put me at 11.
Down.
I'm down, dude. Still got 1.
You have 11.
Yeah, he does.
I have 11 wounds and 1 soak.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
All right,
Welcome to Genesys, y'all.
tell me what happens as you take a bullet. You can just describe it however you want. And you
One
have,
moment he's up and running across the snow. The next he just feels an impact and he feels himself get tossed to the side, a searing pain shooting up the side of his torso.
what do you want to use these 4 threat for?
Let me take a look.
Oh, I found it.
That's quite. That's
it
quite a
is.
bit. You give him lots of setbacks.
Mhm.
He could fall down the roof. A bunch of stuff could happen. You could give Henry some free stuff.
I'll have him slip on the snow and fall. Because he had to stand up to get that shot.
Yep. Yeah.
And
He
then
gets.
with the because that's 3, and then with the last threat, I will. I don't think I can do anything with it, so disregard.
You can give a boost to whoever goes next.
Yeah, I'll give a boost to Henry.
What's Ruth doing when she sees this happen as he starts across the snow? And this is probably like in like you can see him, but it's kind of dark out, and as his silhouette gets fainter, then you hear the shot, you just see him go down. You don't know, right? Who knows what could be happening to this guy?
So, right now, I think Ruth's primary thing is trying to get Hawthorne and Carol into safety. So, if I can spend a story point, Ruth is, so she kind of sees where the shots have come from, at least, hopefully. She's going to roll over the opposite side of the truck, and she's going to try and put this thing into neutral and try to push it towards the house. Basically, using it as cover.
Mighty. So you start trying to do that, and it like rocks back and forth. But you look down and you see that helmet, the skull of that Liebensborn is like blocking the tire. What's going through your head as you see that?
So Ruth is just filled with adrenaline again, and seeing it kind of under the car, she's gonna put it back into park really quickly because she knows this part's a bit dangerous. but she'll crawl underneath the truck to try and move the helmet.
You can do this. This is all narrative. I'm not going to make you spend a story point and not let it help.
Yeah.
But what are you feeling? Because as you crawl under this truck, it's cold. The water and the snow seeping up through your clothes, and there are shards of this guy's bones underneath the truck as he was, run over by you earlier.
So, Ruth, she cries out very softly as she crawls through, her body shivering as she goes through the snow, through the blood, cutting up her arms as she makes her way towards the helmet, gritting her teeth as she yanks 3 times before removing the helmet from in front of the tire. And her teeth are just chattering away as she she backs up, getting back up to the side of the truck, and her entire front is covered in just blood and just the flesh of the man and snow.
As you're doing that, you hear the guy kind of fall from the roof. You hear him fall off the roof and this crunch as he hits the snow. And you can hear him screaming in pain. But then also, right as you dislodge this guy's skull from the wheel, another rifle shot rings out and strikes the snow like right in front of your face. Give me a discipline check at hard. If you fail, you get 2 strain.
Oh, 16.
Excellent. So this truck starts to go out of gear again in neutral. The tire starts to slide back towards your belly, but then you hear Hawthorne's voice from behind the truck. "Don't worry, sweetie, I got it." Ah! He starts pushing the back of the truck. Can't push it forward without your help, but at least it stops and doesn't run you over. You're able to scurry from underneath the truck to the back and describe to me what it looks like as you put the thing in neutral and roll it up the rest of the way towards the cabin.
So Ruth, she's just shivering and teeth chattering at this point as she comes up beside Hawthorne. Thank you.
Push!
And Ruth puts as much of her strength into the back, into pushing this thing as she can, as they slowly push up the laneway through the snow, trying to avoid the sight lines of the snipers. But she will push with her shoulder, but she'll take out the pistol that she has because she knows the snipers by the house.
And I'm going to use the story point. And I can use story points to push my story along. So after that guy falls from the roof, Henry, you can see that silhouette in the window. Just take a step out real quick, and you hear a single pistol shot as Smith puts a bullet through that guy's head before ducking back inside. "Come! Get inside! Now!" Henry?
So as they're pushing, Henry's, I don't know if you'd want me to use a story point, but Henry is going to slip off over the side right around probably the time that sniper shot went off. Knowing that the sniper's distracted, and he's going to make his way towards Richter, keeping an eye on the sniper in the tree line.
Okay. As you continue forward, do the same thing that I made Richter do. Was it athletics?
Athletics or stealth?
Yep, athletics or stealth.
We'll go with athletic. And I could use a story point for a boost, right? Is that correct?
You can use a story point to upgrade your proficiency die, if you'd like.
Yes, we'll do that. Just to be sure. Well, any help is good help. And you said average?
Yes.
No setback.
Mm-mm. Oh. All right, take a strain as you exert yourself sprinting across the snow. And what do you do? Are you like running towards Richter then?
I'm doing two things. I'm trying to get a bead on the sniper and make it to Victor. So I am heading towards Victor's way, but I want to be able to get a clean shot. I have my pistol on me, so it's going to be a long one, but
You're within long range, we'll say, for a pistol at this point. But that same fence stretches both to the left and right, so you're able to hide behind an old pile of barrels near that fence. And as you make it there, he certainly saw you, but couldn't get a good shot off. You hear another rifle shot go just over your head. You can see to your right Richter laying in the snow. What is Henry seeing, Richter?
A very heavily wounded old German man with a huge hole in his side bleeding into the snow.
All right, let's play out this little scene. Henry, what are you doing next?
so when Henry gets to the fence, one of the first things when the sniper shoots, first thing Henry says, he tries to see if Richter's even still alive. Richter, you alive? And then after a few seconds, he's gonna take the silence that he's in bad shape. So he's gonna look over the fence where he saw the sniper at, and he's gonna aim a shot with his pistol, which would be hard shot, but he's gonna aim it anyways, because he's gonna try to get the Victor, but he's gonna shoot first. Hopefully, give him a little suppression so he can move, at the very least.
It's long range, and he's in the trees, so it's one setback.
And I'll use another story point for a proficiency boost. What's the difficulty?
It's going to be hard.
Let me double check, make sure I have nothing that give me a hand on this. Alright, nothing until afterwards. If he makes this hit, he will use what's our story point total? No, because he won't have one left. Shit.
You have an advantage.
Yeah, he used that advantage to suppress the sniper so he can get the Richter.
So if he fires, he gets a setback.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can RP that what that looks like as you running over.
So Henry, after he takes the shots, he's gonna start beating feet over to Rick. And he's barely gonna assess it. He's just gonna grab him and start trying to pull him back to cover.
Tell me what that looks like, because another shot's going to ring out.
So when he reaches up to him, he sees him. I don't know which part he'd reach first, and he's not even looking to see what part of the body he reaches first. He's just gonna grab and start pulling backwards. And he's actually looking at the sniper as he's pulling backwards.
You see a rifle come up from the tree line, and you hear muzzle flash. There you go.
Hasn't popped up yet.
Yeah, I don't see it.
All right.
I heard the gunshot.
Yeah, I just did the sound effect.
Did he miss?
I haven't rolled it.
Oh, oh, come on now! I can't lose
Oh,
this.
nine. This
Oh,
is such
I'm on-
suspense.
I'm
That's the whole point is this
Downgraded
suspense.
proficiency.
Why?
Here we go.
Don't forget about your setback.
Mm-hmm.
I put a setback. I downgraded proficiency. Here we go.
Ah, he should fall too.
Tumble him down the mountain. Let's see here. Threat.
Why did that only give him?
Well, he needs more threat. Is that what you're trying to figure out?
No, it only had him
No.
roll one ability.
Yeah,
Ability.
Oh.
More dice.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would have to roll. With the one downgrade, it would have me roll a yellow and a green. Still, it didn't do it right. This must be the problem that Tet was talking about with the downgrading.
Oh.
Is that through the macro or is that through the sheet?
Just through the sheet. Let me just. Yes, through the macro. I've never had the problem before. Here, this isn't going to be. This is just for.
For the yellow.
Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong. I think I clicked on the wrong skill. Let me try it again.
Oh, I think. Oh. The Richter.
Upgrade, downgrade, 1. There we go. That's 9 damage.
What? Oh my goodness.
What in the world? Yep, we're meat sickles.
What's
No!
your what's your brawn?
I got 2 soak, so
So you're not down.
Yeah, he is.
7. Yeah,
He said he was at 8.
9.
I'm at 15 altogether.
Oh my god, Henry.
All right. What does it look like with Ruth and inside the house? I mean, Smith is looking out, ushers Ruth and the absences in as the other gunshot rings out. Get inside! Get inside! Damn fools!
Nine, I can't go inside. Henry?
And I'm guessing she's not greeted with anything from outside. Looking outside, Ruth, what's going through your mind as you see just those 2 forms out there in the snow, slumped over?
Yeah, her eyes go wide, seeing the 2 figures in the snow, and just not thinking at this point. She's going to run outside. And she's just screaming, Henry!
Are you like just running towards them?
Yup.
So you're running out through the snow. Give me that athletics check.
This is not smart, but... easy? Or... average?
It's average.
Oh.
Is that a failure?
Yeah.
All right. This will be the one. This will be the one that gets missed.
I hope so.
It's a hard test after all.
There she is. Oh my
Hey.
god.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting
What's it look like as you reach him?
so this shot kind of scatters in the snow as she runs to Henry, falling over herself a few times, getting snow on her already freezing body. And she falls over Henry and just kind of crouching down beside him. She slaps his cheek. Henry, please get up. We have to get inside. But
I think for RP purposes, you guys can both be barely conscious but not able to do much.
Ruth, take him. Take him and go. Go.
What are you doing out here?
I told you no hug shit.
Oh, yeah. Is he still... Are you okay?
It doesn't matter. Can you two crawl?
Just take him and go, goddammit.
Can you answer my question?
I don't know.
Try. And she's going to grab, I think, the rifle that Richter had in his hands out of the snow.
Oh god! Oh god! What are you doing with this rifle?
She is going to try and get them to crawl towards the house, and she's going to cover them and just start firing at the sniper, basically forcing him into cover. Lord, can they crawl?
Do you have any story points left?
No!
I don't think you can.
Damn it.
But you tried to get them to, and you start to crawl. You look back, and they just no. They've lost too much blood. They're too badly hurt.
You need to get into cover.
How far away are we from cover, or is it... Are we in cover
the
now?
The fence is really nearby. There's some snow drifts and things like that. If you're careful, we can get into partial cover, like a setback territory.
Oh, Ruth's not good at shooting.
One of the things Henry is gonna do is stuff snow into his bullet wound as he's laying there.
Damn it. I guess Ruth will try to... No
You
matter
can't make
what.
a first aid check on yourself.
Yeah.
Hey. I'll let Ruth do what she's doing. I'll do that
Yeah,
as
I'm
she's
just-
doing that.
Trying to think. Because even if I try to crawl with you back to the entrance, I'm still gonna get shot at. I gotta try it. Ruth is going to attempt to maybe get into position to shoot this sniper.
All right. It's a hard shot. You can aim twice if you want.
Yep, I'm gonna aim
Take-
twice, take 2 strain.
Yep.
Okay, give me one.
He has partial cover, so there is one black.
Okay. I need some sort of, I guess, a heavy, like a
It's
hunting
ranged
rifle?
heavy. It's ranged heavy. I'll give it to you real quick.
Oh, thank you.
You should have it. Click off your token and back on.
Range Range heavy.
Should be the very first thing. Hunting rifle.
Oh, thank you. And sorry, what difficulty?
It's hard.
Hard.
A hard shot.
I get 2 boosts from aiming twice, yes?
Yes. 1 setback.
Okay. Yes! I can't believe it.
The
You-
hero rises.
You can't see it. You can't see it, but what does it look like as you get shot through the eye? Or
So,
whatever you want to do to this guy.
yeah, Ruth's hands are just trembling as she takes up the rifle, but she takes a breath, steadying herself, knowing that if she doesn't do this, then she's gonna have to leave. Maybe Richter out here, and probably she would be able to make it back with Henry. She kind of runs up to the fence, steadies the gun on it, looks through the scope, and thinks she sees a shadow. As she does so, she kind of leads the gun for a moment as it kind of runs into another position. And she fires. And she sees the shadow. And for a split second stop and collapse to the ground. She waits for a moment, seeing no other movement. Takes the rifle, kind of holds it up a little bit.
You hear somebody screaming from the woods. It sounds like they're falling, but they're not. They're just getting shot in the woods.
Yeah, she waits a moment and hearing another gunfire. She looks to the house. They're all dead! Someone come out here and help me! And she's gonna throw down the gun and grab Henry underneath the arms and start trying to haul him to the house. I've got you. I've got you. You'll be fine.
And Richter and Henry are both barely conscious, and you, Ruth, you see Smith sprint out of the house through the snow. There's white snow that looks gray in the moonlight flying up behind him as he kind of throws his rifle to the side and runs and grabs Richter and starts to drag him inside. Now, you guys have regained consciousness, though you're both obviously critically very badly injured. Henry, you need to roll on the crit table as well.
Oh man, another roll on the crit table.
Here we go.
Alright, is there an offset or a critical?
It's on your sheet. It's on your sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, do I add an offset to it or no? Nothing.
No.
Alright.
You're healed at this point.
No! Oh my god! Henry!
As you get into the light of the cabin, foot, hand, left hand, right hand. Tell me what's not really useful anymore.
Well,
It doesn't say permanently crippled, but you like shot through the hand or through the foot or whatever.
yeah, I guess we'll go left hand.
What does the scene look like as they kind of drag you into this cabin? Ruth, what are you thinking, Richter?
Ruth's looking down, and she hauls Henry inside, and she sees kind of the streak of blood that he leaves across the hardwood. And she'll come pick him up and set him down, not really minding that she's ruined one of the couches now, Smith's. And she just looks down at Henry's hand. At this point, the adrenaline's still there, so Ruth is just shaking and trembling. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. You could have died again.
Wait, tell Chandra to give me a drink.
Chandra's not here, Henry.
I just thought I seen him.
Henry, stay with me, please.
here.
You hear Smith running about the house. Helen! Helen! Go in the back. Get the medical supplies. Now! Now! She runs to the back, and you hear a bunch of bottles clinking. Smith kind of runs over to Ruth's side, starts to expose both Richter and Henry. Hawthorne and Caroline are both helping as well. Start with Richter first to try to get his bleeding to stop. Give me a graphic detail of what it looks like as you're pulled in. What's injured? What's the completely life-threatening thing at the moment?
Yeah, so Richter, as he comes in, there's a huge hole in his side near where his lungs would be. He had the wind knocked out of him from the shot, and has been kind of wheezing as he comes in. Dark blood pooling out of his side, and he's in and out of consciousness, faint, and as he's getting propped up wherever. In his mind, it's just flashbacks, and the time in the camps when they would beat them or torture them or anything like that, and he just thinks now would be the time he's going to die. This is the end.
Yeah, as you stare towards the top of this cabin, there's a light up there. It kind of keeps going in and out of focus, and your peripheral vision, Richter, is dark. It not only hurts to breathe, the pain literally almost keeps you from breathing. Every time you take a breath, agony beyond agony is in your left side, as the posterior part of your pharynx fills with blood. You cough it up, it fills with blood again, and you start to cough it up. Quickly, Smith is at your side, and you can dimly see Helen has two what look like tackle boxes nearby as well, and they rip open your shirt, and you hear the fabric rip, you hear the buttons pop off, and feeling the air hit your skin, it's all too clear how sticky and wet and warm your shirt was with blood. So Ruth, I'm gonna need you to help John Smith perform some emergency first aid on him. Okay. I'm not even trying to heal your critical injury, Richter. We're just trying to stop the bleeding, get that pneumothorax taken care of. You ready, Ruth?
Yeah. What's the difficulty?
John Smith comes over. Ruth! Here, hold him down. This is going to hurt, Richter. This is going to hurt a lot.
Okay, I got him. And she comes over with shaky hands and places them on Richter's shoulders. And she holds him very firmly down. It's okay. You're gonna be okay, Hector.
Helen puts something in Richter's mouth to bite down on.
Yeah, he's lamely kind of takes it, not really aware of anything.
I'm going to use a story point to help you out here. The one thing that's given you the will to live, Richter, is on the way in, dragging you through the door. That sniper that Smith killed, that was up top on the you recognize that face. You know that face. And it brings you back to that camp. He's that son of a bitch that blew Hugo away for just offering bread to prisoners. So I'm going to use GM story point. And Ruth, what does it look like as Helen gives John Smith what looks to be a scalpel from the medical kit, a bunch of gauze, and something that looks like IV tubing, or the big yellow kind of thick plastic tubing. And he starts to go to work on Richter's chest.
She's holding him down as firmly as she can, and just keeps repeating, "It's gonna be okay, Richter. You're gonna be okay. The pain will stop soon. It's okay. We're gonna get through this." And she can just feel her body trembling at this point. as the adrenaline's slowly working out. And just seeing both Richter and Henry so severely injured just brings her back to a number of years ago when they were in New York. Seeing Henry when they were in the basement of the amphitheater. And helping him when he was severely injured. Knowing she's probably going to have to do it again.
All right, it's going to be a hard check.
Let's help the boy. Let's use a story point. I have no medicine.
All right, we'll upgrade it twice. Then.
Okay. So is John rolling then?
I'll give you access to it if you want.
Okay.
All right. John Smith's pretty smart, so he's pretty talented. He has 4 green, so that's pretty good. All right, so let me just give you access to John Smith's token here.
Okay.
All right, so it's going to be a medicine check. It's going to be hard. You're going to upgrade the proficiency twice. And he gets 2 boosts because of medical supplies and help from Ruth and the others.
There we go.
There you go. So let me see what it does here. Difficulties check on target heals number of wounds equal to number of success generated. Amount of strain equal to number of advantages. So you regain 1 strain and you get 3 of your wounds back. That would put you at 8 out of 11. And so what happens is there's a searing pain, Richter, but as that pneumothorax is relieved, you suddenly can breathe again. Some blood drains out of that tube, but it stops pretty quickly. And although you're still extremely faint and in a lot of pain, the lights overhead start to come back into focus.
Richter, are you with us?
Only just.
You're alright now. You're okay.
And Henry.
Henry's alive. We got to work on him next, but you were the most critical.
I'm fine now. Go. See to him.
Yeah. Just stay laying down. And she kind of takes her hands off his shoulder and gently rubs his forehead, kind of wicking some of the sweat away. And she gets up and moves to Henry. Henry, are you still with me?
I haven't gone nowhere.
Good. Hey, John. Can we do anything for Henry?
Smith kind of runs over there and looks him over. His forearms are covered with blood all the way up to the elbows. And he, again, cuts his clothes off and inspects him. Which limb did you say is mangled? Which one was shot the worst?
That was the left limb.
Left leg?
Well, we could go leg, or limb, hand, whatever way you want to. I don't know which way. All right, we'll go with leg. That'd be perfect.
And Smith quickly takes off Henry's belt and wraps it around his thigh up near the groin and pulls it tight, and he kind of hands the end of it to Ruth and says, Pull with all you've got. We've got to stop the bleeding.
Okay. And Ruth yanks on the belt hard, resting her other hand on Henry's chest. It's okay. We're going to fix it.
Henry feels exquisite pain, but you can you can see that the bleeding from down further his leg kind of stops a little bit.
That it hurts. Make it stop. Make it stop hurting.
We will. Soon. Just pass through it.
He kind of like closes his eyes. He's trying to stay awake through the pain. It's got to stop. You gotta stop the pain.
I'm tying Henry. And she looks at Smith. Smith, what can we do?
Kind of looked over his limb, and it's bleeding from a large area. And he says, "It does look arterial to me, but I definitely took out his tibia. You're looking, it's going to take a long time to recover, but he's got to get this bleeding stopped." And looks over to Helen and says, Throw me those sutures. And he starts to throw these figure of 8 stitches in his leg. And it's going to be the same check, Ruth. I'll let you RP what John Smith does, and you make that same roll for your husband.
She's pulling hard on the belt just to staunch the bleeding, feeling bad about causing so much pain. John Smith can leaning down, closing the wound and dabbing some away of the blood as he goes. And let's see if he does it.
All right, I'm dipping into my wine early.
And he does something at least.
Yeah,
Barely.
15 to a 14.
Yay!
Well, hey, you're functional now. You can act. And you gain 3 strain as well. Regain 3 strain.
So, yeah, because he wouldn't be at 15, right? He'd be at max. So,
Yep.
13.
there you go. And regain 3 strain.
Mm-hmm. And I'll let you RP kind of how you feel as your pain is actually better, but as you kind of regain consciousness, Helen is kind of bending over you, placing a splint on your leg.
He'll look straight up at Ruth. You didn't leave me.
I never leave you.
Is Richter okay?
Rictor's going to be okay as well.
Good. I couldn't leave him on that snow.
I know. You can't leave anyone.
Sorry.
No.
And he said he's gonna reach for her, trying to grab her hand, but he's kind of seeing double vision. He's like reaching her eyes.
She takes a moment to kind of pause, and she takes his hand, clasping it tightly. I shouldn't ask you to not pull any heroics. You're always going to. Looks like I'm going to have to save you, Henry.
This one was too close. It's too close. I can't leave you two.
I know. Not if I have anything to say about it.
He's gonna stare. I love you, Ruth.
I love you too, Henry. She clasps his hand and looks up to John. Where's Francis? Where's your son?
And as you say that, you hear a car engine in the distance, and through the windows flashes a faint flicker of headlights coming through this window in the back as you see a car kind of run into that same body. You hear voices outside. No! No! Dad! Dad! And then suddenly, in through the door, bursts Francis and Thomas.
Ruth lets out a very relieved sigh, seeing the two of them. Oh, I swear you didn't make it.
Francis kind of there. He looks over the carnage. I'm so sorry. We were detained. Nearly too late. She looks to her left, and Thomas and John are in an embrace. John Smith's hands covered in blood.
Detained? What do you mean detained? How are you here?
And you see 3 other silhouettes walk in through the outside. I see. We have much to discuss, Ruth Wolf. And Trade Minister Tagomi shoots a knowing look at John Smith. And the scene is going to fade to black at this point. All right. As usual, depressing.